This is another video brought to you by the Ichiban Productions. Like, comment, subscribe. So welcome everyone, happy days are here again. We're back with another unboxing and review. This time it's a rather expensive one. It's for the Seagate 1TB storage expansion card designed specifically for the Xbox Series X and S. Now, anyone that's been following this journey is fully aware of this little bad boy. So we all know the Series X has got a 1TB hard drive, solid state of course, and the Series S, I think, 500GB solid state drive. You know, with the way things are with next gen, that's just simply not enough. With games ranging upwards of 100 gig, your hard drive is going to get full ultra quick. So they're offering something as a solution for this, and it's a Seagate storage expansion card. Oh, I've got a lot to talk about. Hopefully, watch this video. It may save you some money, or it may confirm that it's the right decision for you. First things first, let's address that elephant in the room. Yes, this is, dare I say it, is £220. Wow, it's super expensive. I mean, there is a reason for that, I suspect, but some people are just not going to be willing to bite the bullet and get one of these. The biggest reason for this, and the advantage of this, is it plugs straight into your Xbox, away it goes, no install necessary, and it matches the speed of the internal hard drive. That means with this, you can play games directly off this hard drive, which you simply can't do with anything else. It's basically to do with transfer speeds. Now, from my understanding, the Series X and S transfer speed for their solid state hard drive is about 2 gigs a second. That's crazy. However, what's crazier than that is this Seagate apparently can transfer 3 gigs a second. What? Crazy. So this can transfer data at a faster speed than the Xbox can actually handle. Therefore, is it future-proof? Well, who knows, but it's a hell of a solid state drive with crazy transfer speeds. So that probably explains a bit of the price. That and of course the Xbox seal of approval, which instantly means a dirty marker. With that out the way, let's talk about alternatives. What's how does that compare to this? Let's go. Really, the alternatives to this, I mean, they're not quite the same. You can have a traditional hard drive, you know, the one you've been using on your Xbox One X. You plug it in through the USB port, and yeah, it can be used as storage, but you can't play next-gen games off that. It simply just doesn't work. You can get an external solid-state drive and, again, plug it in through that USB port. Again, it's not going to play directly from that. So what you can do is use those two other forms to transfer data back and forth from the Xbox. However, this is the only option if you want to directly play from it. Another big advantage of this one that I've heard about, that personally I don't think I'm willing to try, is that you can hot swap this. That means that you can plug it into the Xbox, play your game, whatever, probably best close the game, and then you can pull it straight back out and plug in a different one, or take it to your friends. Now for me, hot swapping whilst the console's on is something I'm just not willing to do. For the price of this, I'm not willing to risk it. So for me, if I'm unplugging this, it's going to have to turn the console off. But apparently, you can hot swap. You're a braver man than I am if you're going to pay for this and then try that. If you do it, do let me know in the comments, but you're definitely brave. Right, it's time. Let's take a look at the box. That's enough talking about the options and things like that. You're here to see what does it look like, how do you plug it in, and what are those speeds like. So, taking a look at the front of the box, we've got a picture of the solid state drive itself, 1TB. Now, apparently the chipset in here, at best, even if it's not in this form, can only go up to 2TB. So that does mean there is potential for 2TB in the future. However, I don't think my wallet can afford that. Xbox logo, because of course it's designed by Xbox. Apparently, there are other manufacturers looking to come into the market to create these cards, but at the moment they just don't exist, which is why I guess Seagate's got the monopoly and could charge that extra money. Taking a look at the side of the box, it's all about that Xbox Velocity architecture. So the expansion card can take advantage of that, meaning it's ultra fast load times, ultra fast transfer times. Hopefully I'll show you a little bit of an example of how quickly we can transfer from the internal hard drive to this and then back again. Maybe I'll plug in an old hard drive and show you the difference, but I can tell you already, it's absolutely crazy. I've seen videos online that shows it. It's a big difference. Back of the box, we've got it plugged in there. You know, there's an expansion slot that's there. If there's a hole, it's got to be filled, I suppose. So therefore, we can plug that straight in and away it goes. Full speed add-on storage exclusively for the Xbox Series X and S. I know what some of you are thinking. For the price, you want to be able to use it in your PC and stuff like that. But let's face it, there's no way you use an external hard drive on your old Xbox and you're plugging it into your PC and back and forth, back and forth. No, 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 no. You basically got a hard drive, you plugged it into your Xbox and you left it there. Last but not least, we've got that 3-year limited warranty. Oh my god, it better last more than 3 years, I'll tell you that for the price. On the top, we've got ourselves the hanging thing, and on the bottom, we've got the credentials and the serial number, but I won't bore you with that. So, with that in mind, let's open it up and take a look inside. Boom! Cheeky cut. Yeah, I've already opened the seals on this, so it's time to open it up and see where all that money's gone. So, opening it up. Ooh, there it is. Oh, that's £220 there for you. Something so tiny, I literally cannot believe it. Let's take it out the box. Let's take a closer look at the other information before we have a closer look at this. Yeah, well, there's actually some weight to that, but I'll come back to that one in a second. Let's have a look what else your money buys you. So, we got ourselves some instructions here. Not interested in that. Limited service warranty, don't need that. Ooh, here we go. Quick use guide, I suspect. Take off the cap. Oh, doesn't even open like that. Take off the cap, plug it in on the other one, and then away you go. Wow, that's some serious detail there. Thank you, Seagate. You spent your money well on this. So I guess the last thing to do is take a look at the card. As I said previously, this card does have a little bit of weight to it. So let's see if we can get a closer look. So we've got ourselves the 1 TB at the one end. We've got all the information on the back. Yeah, looks a bit like that. All the safety bits, things like that. On the front, Seagate logo. Plugs in there. It can only go in one way. It won't go in either way, so it's a one-way fits all sort of. Not one-way fits all, it's only a one-way way. And there we go, there's not much to it. £220, it's all the magic inside, which is the bit that we're interested in. I like the way it comes with a protective cap. The idea with this, I suppose, is you can transfer games to this, take it to your friend's house. Because I don't know about you, if you've tried installing any of the next-gen games, it takes an ice age. Unless you've got a lightning-quick internet connection. Those updates, those next-gen texture packs and stuff are going to take ages to download. You just don't want to be faffing with that. You want to basically plug it in, away you go. I mean, in particular, I bought Mortal Kombat 11. Oh, what was it called? Mortal Kombat 11 Ultimate Edition. And my goodness, it took hours to download all the patches and all the updates and all the texture files. So I have no intention of doing that every time I want to take it somewhere. Or in fact, if I want to make space by deleting Mortal Kombat and then having to download it all again, no thank you. Let's get that off. So I guess what I need to do now is show you how do you plug it into your system. Here we go, another cut. We brought you straight over to where the action happens. So we've got our PlayStation 5 here and our Series X here. So it's time to plug in that expansion. So all we need to do, I personally powered off my Xbox completely. Hot swapping, no. Plugging stuff in and out whilst the power's to it, nah, it's not for me, not for me. So let's turn the console around here. Oh, it's a heavy beast, and as we can see at the back, there's the expansion card slot. So all we need to do, I guess, is take off the protective cover, move it to one side, and then we need to just plug it in. And yeah, it doesn't fit that way, of course, so flip it round, fits in, a little bit stiff, goes in, and then click. You know it's stuck in there. It's not going to fall out. Just to show you, ooh, it's quite stiff if you plug it in and out. So we're going to plug it in. There we go, it's in. So what I'm going to do now is swap and show you what happens when you turn the Xbox on after we've had this plugged in. Boom, another cheeky cut. Here we go. I booted it up. Oh, I didn't want to show you the home screen because I don't want to give away my name and my credentials and things like that. However, it still surprised me today how quickly the Series X boots up from cold. I mean, it must have been about 5 seconds. It's absolutely insane. I love it. I love it. So nothing special popped up. Didn't even tell me that something had been installed. So I went to the storage devices, and there it is. We've got the Seagate one there. Ready to go. Obviously, it's slightly less than the terabyte because it always is. I do think it's interesting. There's 919.9 of 920. What's being used? It's 0%, but anyway, enough of that. I suppose one of the big things is to show you some of the transfer speeds. So if I click on the old internal hard drive here, and I'm going to move Assassin's Creed across. So if I have Assassin's Creed here, I click that and I click move selected. So as you can see, it's about 48 gigabytes. Click move selected, and we're going to move it to the expansion card. Click move, and let's see how long it physically takes. So obviously this is initializing. Is it as quick as they say? 50 gig, how quick does it move? Wow. You can see the speed for itself. So 50 gig moving across. It's lightning quick. I can only imagine how slow it would be if it was a normal hard drive. I mean, 40 seconds from there. I mean, we probably took 20 seconds to start with, so we're looking at about a minute to shift it across. That's just quick speed. And now, of course, it being on the storage card, it means you can play the game directly. So the game will play exactly the same as if it's in the internal solid state drive, as well as it is on the memory card. So that's one of the huge big advantages of this. We're back and it's done. Lightning quick. Probably I would say it's just over a minute, maybe a little bit less than that. Let's go to the storage again. We've got ourselves storage here. Let's see how long it takes to transfer back. So move or copy. Let's copy this back to the internal hard drive. Click move selected, and let's move it back to the internal hard drive, and let's click and see. So the other one took about a minute. Let's see roughly how long this takes. So obviously initialing a little bit slower maybe. I think the timer kicked in, was it about 10 gigs, something like that? Let's have a look. When does the timer appear? 1 minute 15. So interestingly enough, it's slower to transfer it to the internal hard drive than it is the card itself. Is that because the card has a faster transfer speed? I do think, you know, being compatible with up to 3 gigabytes a second as opposed to 2 gigabytes a second is going to have an impact. But hopefully you can see that this is lightning quick. Now, I don't know about you, first time you put a game in and it's half an hour to install, plus all the extra, you know, high-res texture packs and all that sort of stuff, this has definitely got to be the faster way of doing it. So I'll leave it here, transfer in, or maybe I'll do a cheeky cut to the end, so you can see it all done and dusted, and then we'll summarize, we'll have a conclusion, and we'll see, is it for you? Plus I'll also I'll tell you how I came about getting this card and the wicked saving I managed to achieve that you can achieve too, assuming you can find one of these cards. I know they're quite difficult to get hold of, but you know there's money in it for you. So I'm going to leave it here, we're going to pause it, come back, show you that it's transferred all right, and then we'll give you my final thoughts. I'm back. Like I said, I'll be back. So let's get the savings out the way, because this is, I think, the best way of doing it. So what I have seen online is I've seen this on Amazon. It has gone as low. I think it was £2.09. That's about £10 saving. But I think that was around Black Friday. But overall, it is an okay saving. However, how did I get this cheaper? So what I did is I went to Game. I actually managed to find one. There was only one. It was behind the counter. And anyway, I decided to bite the bullet because I had a bit of birthday money and stuff on the side and thought I'd get it. Anyway, the guy said to me, "Are you Game Elite?" I was like, "Game Elite?" He's like, "Yeah, you Game Elite?" I was like, "Nah, I ain't Game Elite, mate. I got a reward card." He goes, "You need to go Game Elite." I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Because basically, if you go Game Elite, which is £3 a month, or I think it's £36 or £34 for the year or something like that, you get yourselves 10% cash back on all accessories, games, and merchandise." I think that's pretty good. He goes, "Yeah, normally you get about 1% back, but if you buy this today, you're going to get yourself 10% back. So subscribe for a month, cancel it if you like, and then immediately you're going to get 10% back. So you're going to get 22 quid back in the game points. I suppose that's as useful as it depends how much you spend in game. But yeah, 22 quid off this brings it down to less than 200 quid. That for me is definitely a winner. So thank you to that guy in Game. I think his name was Mike. There's a can of Coke for Mike. Well done. To save me some serious money on that. So on my game reward card now, I got £22. What shall I buy next? That's the question. I think ultimately I need to answer two questions now. Is one, do I think this is value for money? And two, would I recommend it? Well, in terms of the value for money thing, it's a tough one to say. it is really, really expensive, especially if you consider the actual price of the Xbox Series X is £450. I mean, that's about half the price of the console itself. However, if you weigh it up for what you get for a solid state drive, I mean, solid state drives are expensive. I just typed a 1 terabyte solid state drive into old Amazon, and look, the first one that came up, Western Digital 1 terabyte external solid state drive, but the read speeds of only 1 terabyte. For me, that's crazy. It's £214. You could go cheap, 550 megabytes read speed, half the price at 129. Whereas this is 229, but it's up to 3 terabytes read and write, from my understanding and my research. So, is it value for money? I would probably suggest yes, on the basis that from what else you can get at a similar price point, this is actually pretty good value for money. Now, the other question is do I recommend this product? Well, again, it's kind of like a yes and a no. On one hand, if you've got lazy man syndrome like I have, right, where you just want to plug it in, not faff about with moving stuff back and forwards, this is probably the one for you, on the basis that you can plug it in, you can play games directly from this. So it's no faffing, no messing. You know, if you've got a friend who's got an Xbox Series X or S, you can just unplug your hard drive, take it with you, plug it into theirs, and suddenly you've got access to all of the games. So it is a massive time saver in that regard. On the other hand, if you've got all the time in the world and your budget's a little bit tight, I would suggest getting an external hard drive, plugging it in, and using that to transfer games back and forth. So you can transfer the games from the Series X to your old hard drive and when you don't need them, and transfer them back when you do need them. However, you're going to have to wait for that. The times will depend on the read-write speed of the hard drive or the external solid state drive that you're using. It's a pros and cons. For me, I like the idea of just plugging it in and leaving it, which is why I bought one in the first place. However, if you're on a tighter budget and you've got time and you don't mind waiting, I mean, if you're happy waiting, just get a hard drive, transfer the saves back and forward, the games back and forwards, and you won't have no two problems. I think the worst case scenario is not having anything, deleting it, then having to plug that disc back in. Oh, I'm waiting for those updates. Honestly, I still have nightmares about Mortal Kombat Ultimate and the download time that was required for that. It was absolutely unreal. Oh, it bothers me literally now just thinking about it. So you've heard some pros, you've heard some cons. I mean, can I put a score on this? Well, let me have a quick think and I'll get back to you. I suppose, on reflection, it wouldn't be a proper Richie Bam review if we don't put a star rating on it. So what am I going to rate this storage expansion card? Well, bang. It's going to be 4 stars out of 5 stars. I mean, why is it dropped to star? It's simply purely because of the price. I think it is a bit too expensive. If you compare it to other solid state external hard drives, it's not too bad. But if you actually physically compare this to the fact that the Series X is only $450 and that's $220, I mean, that's almost half the price of the console, which literally can't be right. It just can't be right. So therefore, it's a star off the rating, 4 out of 5 stars. Hopefully that's answered all your questions. If you've got any other questions or comments, please post them below. If you enjoyed the video, give it a massive thumbs up because it helps with the old algorithm and it lets me know you've enjoyed the video nonetheless. It would mean the absolute world to me if you could press that subscribe button, so press it now. Do it now. I want to say a huge, massive can of Coke thank you to everybody that's subscribed already. I'm on the 59 mark. It is going up. It is going up pretty quick. You know, I want to say a big thank you for everyone that's supporting my channel. Anybody that's found any of my videos useful and you've subscribed or thumbs up or comments, I want to say a big old festive Christmas thank you. Because, of course, we're in December now. Spread that festive cheer and press that subscribe button. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave it there. You know what I'm going to say. Look after yourself. Take care of the people around you. And most importantly, stay out of trouble.